Well, hello, friends, neighbors. John, your wish neighbor here. Welcome down the Nook. Yes, it's Sunday where I usually try to talk in some samples, but I also do bottle openings. And I'll tell you, I was looking this week for a good deal on Irish because we're in Irish Whiskey Month, and I found this bottle BSW here in Alberta for $36 or 35. Yeah, 34.99. Like, this is Teeling single grain whiskey. It's 46%. It's non-chill filtered. It is a beautiful color. I just wish they'd tell me it was natural color, but this is a lot of whiskey for that kind of Canadian dollars. So I had to buy it. And then I still have this on the shelf, but I looked it up and BSW still has this for $37. This is a beautiful 46% single malt. This is integrity. You know, it's got an age stamp, finished in cognac cask. I've talked to you about this before. If you like single malt, just go buy this. But I haven't had this in like 5 or 6 years, and I need to try this again, this single grain. So we're going to talk about this whiskey. At these prices, go buy them. But are they any good? And I'll give you the notes or the things that I enjoy in them. I've poured them. They've been sitting here for a while I figure out the lights. So I'm going to get into this. These absolutely are the best deal in Irish right now in Alberta. Bar none. You can stop here. But if you want to know what it tastes like, stick with me. Maybe pour something, pour some Irish, and come on back. 3, 4. Well, thanks for staying with me. As I said, we're going to talk this Teeling single grain first. Then I'll give you another comparison thoughts on this Bushmills 10-year, but it's Causeway series finished in cognac. So this is Teeling single grain. Now, they say right on their website, this is 95% corn, 5% malted barley. So this is a corn whiskey. They use that malted barley just to open her up, but that is what this is, 95% corn. 46%, gorgeous color, and it says natural character on it. Boy, I wish they would just say, instead of natural character, it would say color. Either way, this has spent its whole life maturing in American red wine casks. I think it's California Cab Sav, but I'm not sure on that because I saw that somewhere, and then later I just saw American red wine. But either way, I'm pretty sure. I know it's California. I think it's their Cab Sav. And let's see. I can already smell. Well, they're both pretty aromatic. So let's talk this whiskey again at that price. Just go buy it. But let's see what it tastes like. Boy, it has lots of fruit notes, lots of red grape, red wine. A little bit dried, which is nice. So it's just a nice, almost like a drying on the nose finish. Like I know finish is where we're gonna get, but I'm just saying, like you nose it, and it doesn't smell like grape jelly or anything like that. Like not fresh and wet and that kind of thing. It's got this just a little bit dried, pretty rich. So kind of that more raisin. And it's got a lot of sweetness, but sweet sugars, sweet light vanillas, toffees. I'm getting a little bit of that, but not a lot. Not like we're not running away in nice X. New oak sweetness and vanillins. I'm not getting that. But there's a little dustiness, a little like corn husk, like just like the when you're husking corn. But no, there is a little bit of toffee in there. There's a little bit of thicker. I've been having some treacle candies to try to get treacle. Like, what is treacle? And I bought some at an international candy store. But I would say, like, that really cooked down molasses type sugars. So I've got dark, deep sugars, lots of red wine notes, just lots. Oh, right there, I came back to it, and if someone had poured me a wine, I would have gone, oh, this is a really earthy red wine, or really husky. I got the cask on the wine, but I've got a whiskey in front of me, and I got some of those whiskey notes, but just a ton of that drier wine. Interesting. Good nose. Certainly a nose worth spending more time than I just poured this. But let's get into the taste, see what the palate's like. Hope you got a good Irish in your glass. Sláinte. Wow. That's really good. Oh, that's really good. I'm enjoying this first tastes far more than my notes say. My notes from when I had it last, like I said, 5-6 years ago, I think I talked to you guys about it. I put it as, hey, this is pretty good. I don't love it. Right now, it's got just that full dark red flavors, sweetness of that corn. That corn whiskey is slightly buttery, sweet, and just wraps it all around. Boy, it's really picked up the cask though. I have to say it's a lot about the cask, but it's nicer and more body and more oily than, like it does play into a, it's a triple distilled grain whiskey. It does play into a lighter style of the whiskey side. It does play into, sweet, light, light Irish, a little bit Canadian actually. A lot of kind of Canadian-esque whiskey notes in here. But keeping those oils in there, bumping it up to 46%. I think maybe choosing some good casks. That's got some good flavors. Another quick sip. Yeah. Continues to remind me of a higher class Canadian whiskey. And I know Canadian whiskey internationally doesn't do well, so I better unpack that. It definitely is a sweet, light corn whiskey. It's very, very almost sugary. But I'll say it again, the cask selection mixed in with their choice to go non-chill to keep some of that oiliness in there has helped this. This still speaks a lot of cask, and it is light and sweet. So if you don't like to really know it's a wine finish, like to really understand, hey, this is not just like new oak would be all kinds of different tannins and structures, or ex-bourbon where you really get more caramels, coconuts, that kind of stuff. This you absolutely will know that it's an ex-wine whiskey and it's sweet. I maintain though that non-chill has really made a difference. I imagine if they filtered this thing and then released it at a more anemic 40%, I wouldn't be very excited about this. It would still maybe be a value at that price here in Canada, but it wouldn't be, a good whiskey. If you like grain whiskeys, if you're in Alberta and you can get to, I think craft sellers might have it too, but certainly BSW, $34.99 for this grain. I really don't think you're going to find a better one. The only person who would know if there's a better one at that price would be Dark Cloud. So get in the comments and tell me where else to go. But I'm saying $34.99 Canadian, like just go buy it if you like like nice grain whiskeys and you like wine finishes, because there's no doubt this has a ton of wine in it. So I think you can tell I'm pretty happy I found that deal. Let's go to this Bushmills 10-year Causeway series. This is the one that's finished in cognac cask. My understanding is typical Bushmills going in, so we've got some ex-Oloroso and ex-bourbon, and then it's combined, whatever casking they've got going on, and they're putting it in for 2.5 years in a cognac cask. This one is also 46%, says non-chill, but I looked it up and it said naturally colored on the website, so I thought, okay, here we are. This is exactly what we're looking for. I wish it would say, it just says non-chill filtered on here, but I have to say it. Someone else commented on the last deal in Irish that I said, they're really looking for an age stamp and an integrity bottling, and to get it from a big house Bushmills and to get it in Alberta for $37 a single malt, again, if you haven't had it, go buy it. I know I feel like a salesman. I shouldn't. What I'm trying to say is when you hunt around, there are good deals, and that's what these are. I bought these with my own dime. No one's paying me to say these things, and I don't get a cut from any of the sales. I'm just saying this is a good value. But let's see what single malt now. So this is now 100% malted barley versus the 95 corn 5 malted barley here. And it's someone told me I'm a malt head, and you know what? I love the roundness. How do you describe roundness? The fullness, the creamy. I do really enjoy malt. And this one also has a lot of a fruit in it. That cognac influence is right there. But it's a little deeper, richer stewed fruit. I got apple. Yeah, a lot more orchard. Yeah, really good ripe apple. Oh, hey, coming back. This is speaking some spices I didn't share with you. Definitely Oh, what is that? What is that spice? Like not quite a cinnamon, but shoot, I lost it. But I came back to it. And ginger? Maybe it's ginger. Maybe it's ginger. But it just that impression of spicing coming off this, which was all stewed fresh. Both those are different, cooked down, but juicy apple and nuts. This one has more nuts in it. This one has just a little bit more. Yeah, I'm not sure what nuts, but just that impression of nuts. Not peanut, not that kind of nuts, but like a little bit lighter nut, like a light sweet almond. I know I go there a lot, but that's what I'm getting here on the cask. Okay, this Bushmills single malt, you've seen me talk about it before. Let's see how it is today after coming off this Teeling. Saja. There is no mistaking, none, that this is malt. It's got malt cereal notes, grain notes, that nutty barley husk that I get. It's got that character immediately, and what a contrast. I actually find on the like early finish that it is even possibly more oily and coating than this one was. It also has a little more malt whiskey character. This is really cask forward, and when I get into the whiskey, it's like the whiskey base in here is really sweet. It's high, sweet, light corn. This one has just a little more hello, I'm a whiskey, and not the cask. But I'm gonna go in again. Sancha. That is a really nice Irish triple distilled single malt. Good character, good release, stupid, unreal good price. Wow, I like these. I would still pay if, I've got lots of whiskeys, so I don't re-buy things, but this is absolutely still worth that, $70, $80 for sure. Given what it is, given the flavors, this is a solid choice. 37, just go get it. This, I'm going to have to come back to and pull it apart. I'm enjoying the first sips and way more than my notes. Like this is a 4.25 for sure. This is probably a 4-star. Like it's a solid whiskey, and I'd pay. What do I pay? I always bargain hunt, but this feels like a $65 whiskey for sure. Really nice presentation, really tasty, and beats up on a lot of cheap stuff in that range for sure. But even on that $65, I think I'd pay that. This is a little nicer. But that's my bias. Someone totally nailed me. Thanks, Marion. I am a bit more of a malt head than I am, a corn whiskey person, but unless it's finished in new oak. Anyways, coming back here, what do you guys think? I know when you can't get these deals, I'm sorry for that. So that's why I tried to pick apart the flavors I get, and I would say this is still a really excellent single grain. If you like single grain and you like red wine finishes, that would be a perfect match for you. If you like single malts, and again, you do like more fruit in them because this cognac really comes through, this is an excellent pick too, even if they're not at those stupid prices. Thanks for joining me. Comment down below on Teeling. Do you love Teeling? Comment on this Causeway series, or share with me, an Irish I should go pursue. If I can find it, I'll try to get it. But if you don't get it, I am always shopping multiple stores trying to find a way to save a little bit of cash. Thanks for joining me here this Sunday. You guys have a good week.